we're going to talk about three major things regarding delidding. Number one, how difficult is it to do? Number two, is it worth it? And number three, what does it cost? The example we're going to use today is the i7-6700K processor, which is in this computer that's built already right here. The processor in this computer is not delidded yet, but it's going to be the one we're going to use for this video. The rest of the build, if you need to know what we're working with here, we've got an Asetek 120mm water cooler, an MSI Z170A motherboard, a GTX 1080, and I believe it's a 512 gig NVMe SSD. So the first thing we're going to show you here is with the non-delidded i7-6700K. We're running at an idle temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. Okay guys, this is the i7-6700K and it is not delidded, as a reminder. And we're currently looking at a full load on all 4 cores using Prime 95. And we're already hitting 80 degrees Celsius within 5 minutes on multiple cores. All right guys, now we're gonna show you a time lapse of the process of delidding the CPU. Enjoy. Alright guys, now that we've delidded the processor, let's get an idea of what these new temperatures are going to look like. Let's take a look at the BIOS first. That we had earlier in the BIOS idle, now all the way down to 30 degrees Celsius. We'll have to take a look now and see how much better we're going to see temperatures while under load. Wow, okay, this is a pretty big decrease. We've been letting Prime 95 run for quite a while now, and we haven't hit over 68 degrees Celsius on any cores. It's definitely a really big difference, and something that we would really recommend to you guys as long as you're okay with taking the risk of possibly bricking your CPU and voiding your warranty. All right, so number two, guys, was it worth it? Well, yes and no. The temperature that we were hitting without delidding was 80 degrees Celsius, and that's totally fine. That's safe for your processor. You really want to be under 90 realistically, and 100 is really where you get scared. But 80 is not that bad. Dropping down to 68 was really nice to be there. But what really matters is how much overclocking you're doing. How seriously are you taking overclocking? If you're taking overclocking really seriously, this would be a big difference. We didn't test overclocking in this video, and if you want to see another video with delidding and overclocking at the same time, we could totally do that for you. But in this particular situation that we did here, there was no overclocking. So 80 degrees max without a delid, that was not overclocked, and you might get up to all the way up to 95 without a delid on a big overclock. with a smaller water cooler like we did, or air. So it really depends on your cooling that you have and what CPU. I also want to mention the 6700K is just one of many CPUs that can be delidded. One that's probably the most popular to be delidded is the 8700K. There are a lot of people that work here, including myself, that have owned an 8700K and found that delidding was the difference between going way too high and almost burning out your CPU at a 5.0 all-core overclock, and then being down in a really safe zone, like closer to the 80 zone with that 5.0. So if you have an 8700K, is it worth it to delid? 100%. You should delid an 8700K. A 6700K, not as important. But also, how much does it cost? That was the third thing we were going to talk about, and that does matter whether it was worth it. So the cost of the kit that we use, that you saw us using in the time-lapse video, that's $40 for that kit, and then the liquid metal itself is $14. And you can get multiple uses out of these products. So it is a one-time cost. It's going to be about, you know, $55 total, maybe some shipping. I think it's a pretty good value. And we got that from RocketCool, rocketcool.myshopify.com. You can just Google RocketCool. They're a really good company. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any more suggestions for this type of content, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below.